Blade and Bow. Just saying the name may make you feel like you've stumbled into a secret bourbon vault somewhere in the rolling hills of Kentucky. And maybe, just maybe, you're about to get a little smarter and a little tipsy. Or you're like me, and the first thing I think of is Katniss Everdeen from Hunger Games. Either way, don't worry, I'm here for you. We're not just pouring a drink here, we're diving headfirst into bourbon history, barrel by barrel, key by key, hunter style. We're talking about a barrel that's part history class, part national treasure scavenger hunt, and part, yes, I'm classy, but I can also explain mash bills at parties. You've got the legendary old school Stitzel-Weller bloodline and age through a continuous barrel system that literally bends bourbon time, that basically feels like bourbon time travel, happening inside oak barrels, and then those collectible keys hanging off the neck like tiny metal merit badges that say, "Congratulations, you have achieved peak bourbon nerd." So grab your glass, loosen that tie, or don't because bourbon doesn't care, and prepare to go full bourbon hunter mode. By the end of this, you'll know why this bottle isn't just bourbon. It's a hunt, a story, and a trophy all rolled into one. Trust me, even Indiana Jones would put down his whip for a sip of this stuff. So who's behind the magic? Joe. Bow is owned by them, the spirits giant that also owns Bullet, Johnny Walker, and a ton of other bottles that make you feel fancy. But don't let the corporate umbrella fool you. This is a bourbon with serious heritage. It's bottled at the legendary Stitzel and Weller Distillery in Louisville, Kentucky. That's right, the same hallowed grounds that produced Pappy Van Winkle and Old Fitzgerald, and where bourbon history practically seeps from the walls. The brand officially launched in the mid 2010s. Think 2015 to 2018, as a tribute to Stitzel Weller's legacy, keeping the old spirit alive while making something approachable for new hunters entering the game. Speaking of history, Stitzel-Weller first opened on Kentucky Derby Day in 1935. Legendary bourbons were born here for decades. It officially closed in 1992, leaving behind barrels that are basically liquid history. Blade and Bow swooped in to preserve that legacy, giving bourbon hunters today a taste of that iconic past without needing a time machine. Now, here's where Blade and Bow gets really interesting. It uses a Solera aging system, which is crazy rare for American bourbon. So basically, bourbon lives in a pyramid of barrels. When they bottle, they pull from the bottom tier, the oldest liquid. Then barrels get replenished from the layers above. This means every bottle has a tiny bit of bourbon distilled decades ago, some even from before Stitzel-Weller closed in 1992. Over time, that fraction of vintage whiskey shrinks, but the story stays alive. You're not just drinking bourbon, you're sipping history, and that's exactly what makes collectors and hunters salivate. Blade and Bow comes from in a few key bottlings. So the flagship Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, which is 91 proof, Solera blended, non-age statement, and a sharp geometric bottle with a metal key charm dangling from the neck. Heavy glass, bold design. It tells you that this bourbon means business. And then their limited releases. Think of their 22-year-old Blade and Bow, 30-year-old, and other special editions showcasing old, historic whiskey stocks. These are for the hunters chasing that extra special thrill of rare bourbon. The bottle itself is a part of the experience. Thick glass, key on the neck. It's like the bourbon equivalent of a secret treasure chest waiting for you to unlock it. And here's the fun part, the keys. Each bottle comes with one of 5 numbered metal keys, representing the 5 steps of bourbon production: grains, yeast, fermentation, distillation, and aging. Fans try to collect all 5 keys, a true bourbon hunter's quest. If you do, Blade and Bow encourages you to join their 5 Keys Club, which might get you a mint julep cup, swag, or just serious bragging rights. People display them, attach them to wind chimes, or just hoard them like mini trophies. Collecting the keys is almost as fun as hunting the bottles themselves. So how does it drink? Flagship Blade and Bow is sweet, approachable, and layered. The aroma is vanilla, light fruit, and oak. Palate is dried fruits like apricot and pear, honeyed grains, brown sugar, and a gentle spice. Its finish is smooth and balanced, oak and warm spice lingering like a wink from a bourbon itself. The 22-year-old and older releases, that's a whole different league. Deep oak, figs, layered spice, caramel. It's like drinking history, sophistication, and a little show off swagger in one glass. Blade and Bow isn't just storytelling, it's award winning too. Double gold San Francisco Spirits competition, gold medal at the Ascot Awards, high praise in whiskey publications. It's proof that this is premium bourbon that even the most hardcore hunters can respect. Blade and Bow matters because it's not just bourbon, it's a story. It preserves historic Stitzel-Weller stocks. The Solera system gives it a rare complexity. The keys and collectibles make it an interactive experience. And it's approachable enough for newbies, yet interesting enough for seasoned hunters. Basically, it's bourbon with history, craft, and a treasure hunting twist. Keys are numbered 1 through 5 again, and they're distributed across the markets. Some keys are rarer than others. Personally, when I've went in the stores, I've always been able to find 1 and 2. I sometimes see 3. 4 and 5 have been the ones to escape me. Hunters go wild trying to collect all 5 keys. Collecting all 5 can earn branded rewards or at least serious street cred in the bourbon community. So there you have it, Blade and Bow Bourbon, a modern tribute to Kentucky bourbon history, using old school barrels, a rare Solera system, and 5 collectible keys to make your collection feel like an adventure. Pour yourself a dram. Consider it a history lesson with consequences. If you like this bourbon hunt, hit that subscribe button. We've got more stories, more hunting tips, and more barrels of bourbon coming your way. And remember, collecting keys is fun, but drinking the bourbon, that's essential. So grab your glass, join the hunt, and let's sip history, one bottle, one key, and one story at a time.